For more on the scenes that were seen outside of Senekal, the magistrates court at the hearing of two murder accused in the murder of a farm manager. We're on the line now to my colleague Samkele Maseko. Samkele, we had the members of the EFF in a tense standoff with members of the farming community. We also had other political party members that were there, AfriForum, Freedom Front Plus. Just tell us a little bit more about how these heightened tensions came to be.
Essentially, so these heightened tensions came to be after the EFF leadership about 10, after they were addressed by the EFF Deputy President Chibambu. He told the protesters that they must go around town, that they must march around town. 12 o'clock midday, when the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, would come back and address them. That did not come to materialize, but during they went to the side where the Afrikaner farming community was stationed, and there was a confrontation between the EFF supporters and the Afrikaner farming community. Some EFF leaders tried to block EFF members and supporters from going to the other side and having a scuffle ensuing. Eventually, those tensions were quelled by the EFF leadership themselves. Police presence had to be heightened in the area. You saw a number of police in the area, a number of also in the area which were there. Essentially, those tensions were quelled down within a matter of 20 minutes.
And just talk to us about how this seems to have become a proxy of sorts for the various political parties to address what they really feel this murder of Brendan Horner represents. Malema, for instance, saying earlier on that there is no murder of a white farmer, there is only murders of human beings. Though he did point to the issue of racism, and AfriForum itself also defending the fury of the white farmers.
It's a very complex situation when it comes to the issue of farm murders in the country, because in many instances you've had farm owners who've shot black workers and black South Africans saying that he thought that was a monkey. You've had those incidents taking place in the country. You've had other incidents of white farmers being killed in their own farms. So this issue of farmers being killed in South Africa is very complex, because you've also got, on the other hand, farm employees who are also being killed. They're also facing various atrocities at the hands of farm owners. So this issue of Senekal has essentially heightened the political divisions that are there in the country. Looked at the various incidents that have happened in provinces such as Mpumalanga, where there was a black man was put into a coffin. That case is still ongoing within that particular province. Those two individuals at some point were released on bail, and the Department of Correctional Services and Justice was called on to review their parole. We go to the issues of Kolini that have also taken place in the country. You can easily compare what transpired in Kolini to what's happening in Senekal. Essentially, what has transpired in these various communities has sharpened the racial, the political, and the economic segregation issues in the country. And for instance, here in Senekal today, those divisions were laid bare, with the farming community protesting on the one side. On the other hand, we had the economic freedom fighters protesting in what they perceived to be in defense of black dignity in the country.
And we saw the presence of the Ministers of State Security and Police, the EFF having said that they were going to be there following the scenes of October 6th, in which he says that there was a need to defend democracy. In fact, lamenting the behavior of police, saying that under different circumstances, had the protesters been the black community, there would have been a use of force, rubber bullets fired. But that was not the case. Is there an implying of sorts that the police have handled this somewhat, differently as well?
Indeed, Julius Malema says that the police have handled this situation in a very unique manner. They've said that essentially black people in this country are being treated like stepchildren, and the white community is being treated like first-class citizens. Those are the words of Julius Malema. He highlights that in Marikana, various against the protesting miners will come to Senekal when the farming white community was protesting last week and in court over the issues of the murder of Brendan Horner. The police were basically not there when the farming community stormed the magistrate's court and shot 2 live ammunition at the glass windows when 2 African women were seated. There was no outcry on that particular matter. No live ammunition was there. The police were not there to use tear gas from the police and the water cannons against the white farming community when they were protesting and overturning and burning the police vehicle and storming the magistrate's court, essentially saying that an animal farm method was used in the approach of the South African Police Service last week, and it has prompted the Minister of State Security and the Minister of Police, to descend upon Senekal.
And just finally, talk to us about what the white farming community feels. They were filmed as saying enough is enough, government must start prioritizing this. What about the political solution to this? Any profit by AfriForum, by Freedom Front Plus? What were they saying?
At this point in time, we saw that the leader of the Democratic Alliance, the federal chairperson, Helen Zille, did come here and did say that these killings of farm owners must stop in South Africa, because if these farm killings continue, it will hamper the food security in the country. These tensions are not good for the country. They stand to basically bring the country to an economic upheaval, and that there is starvation that will take place in the country, basically calling on these farm murders, which are perceived by the federal chairperson of the Democratic Alliance, Helen Zille, to stop. We did see some comments from the farming community themselves, where our colleague Reginald Woodfoy was with them. They were saying that they are bringing back the Republic to this specific area. We saw former generals of the South African Defence Force, which was the SABC in the apartheid era. They were in full regalia here in Senekal, and they were having a convoy in our colleague Reginald Woodfoy was covering. Also saw them with heavy weapons coming into the area. On the M5 as they were coming in, there was a roadblock. Those particular weapons were stopped, and they were not Senekal. In fact, every vehicle, every car that was going into Senekal was being stopped and was being searched.
All right, thank you so much, Samkele Maseko, SABC reporter.